I'm Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling things, all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. So this week, we had the annual NXT Halloween Havoc from Prescott Valley, Arizona. And this year, they actually decided to let it be a PLE, so let's get into it. The opening match, a tag team match, Javon Evans and TNA's X Division champion Leon Slater versus AAA's La Parka and Mr. Iguana. It was okay for what it was, but it was what I'm not a big fan of. It was a spot fest. That's really all it was. There wasn't really any build up to this. Like the week before on NXT, they got challenged. There was no point to it. Was no rivalry between these two. There's no title shot. It was just something cool to do on Halloween Havoc. It had decent back and forth until Leon Slater got the 450 Swanton on Mr. Iguana, got the pin, the win. And now him and Javon Evans want to do more tag team stuff, which cool, I guess. Like I said, it was good, so I can't really fault it, but I would only give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then a Day of the Dead match for the Men's North American Championship, as AAA Latin American Champion Dr. Wagner Jr. challenges Ethan Page. I will say this match was awesome. In fact, second match of the night was the match of the night. I mean, not just the Day of the Dead match stuff, which it was just a hardcore match, but it was really awesome, the story that was playing out. We didn't actually know who was going to win, because whereas, yes, at this point, no AAA guys have won any WWE titles, we feel like the day is coming. And there was even the drama, of course, of Paige doing the dastardly heel thing, trying to rip off Dr. Wagner's mask. Something very sacred to Lucha Libre. But that didn't stop, the match kept going until Ethan Page threw powder into Dr. Wagner Jr.'s eyes, which was perfectly legal in this match, and then did a top rope twisted grin through a table, which finally enabled him to get the pin and the win over Dr. Wagner Jr. Now, he has lost in an attempt to get Dr. Wagner Jr.'s Latin American Championship. Dr. Wagner Jr. has lost in an attempt to get his North American Championship. Let's do title for title. We'll see where that goes, but for right now, this match, 5 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the Women's North American Championship, Blake Monroe challenging Zarya. Zarya defending the title for Sol Ruca, who is injured. It's her best friend, so she was going to go out there and defend her title for her. It was a really good match, which again, not just because of what happened like in the ring as far as the wrestling, but the story playing out. Blake Monroe damaging Zarya's arm. Sol Ruca trying to help by throwing into her ring post, popping it back into place, which looked like it helped, but not for very long. But then even going until they were outside and Blake Monroe kicks Sol Ruca's crutch from out from under her, of course making Zarya go to check on her friend, and getting the glamour shot DDT on her on the outside, rolling her into the ring, getting another one in the ring, getting the pin, the win, and Blake Monroe is the new NXT Women's North American Champion, even though she didn't beat the champion. So, obviously the story going on with this, when Sol Ruca's come back, obviously she's going to want to go after Blake Monroe. Obviously there's tension between her and Zarya, because Zarya just lost her title for her, and there's been tension before. It's a great match, great storytelling, makes us want to tune in and see what's going to happen next. 4 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the NXT Women's Championship, Tatum Paxley challenging JC Jane. It was good. Of course, the calling was with Tatum Paxley, and Fatal Influence was with JC Jane, and eventually everyone got told to leave ringside, except for Izzy Dane came back. At one point grabbed the NXT Women's Championship, and looked like she was trying to hit Tatum Paxley with it, but Tatum Paxley got out of the way, and she hit JC Jane with it. So Tatum Paxley was able to get her finisher onto JC Jane, get the pin, the win, and Tatum Paxley is the new Women's Champion. Awesome. And again with this one, there's story playing out. Like, we can see that Izzy Dame is not happy with the fact that Tatum Paxley is the one who got the title shot, and we can tell it was an accident. She meant to hit Tatum Paxley. So we'll see where this goes. Another 4 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the NXT Tag Team Championships, a Broken Rules match, which is yet another name for a no-holds-barred match, between Dark State and the Hardys. Making it very clear, the TNA Tag Team Championships were not on the line. It was good. But as far as these type of matches with the Hardys, it was standard. Like, I hate to be that way, but it does come down to with these kinds of matches, you can kind of predict exactly what's going to happen as far as what the Hardys do. I will say this, you couldn't predict who was going to win. Like, were they going to give it back to some NXT guys, or was TNA going to hold on to the NXT Tag Team Championships for a minute? We didn't know. But again, just the stuff that happened was very predictable. Even the point of Jeff Hardy going all the way to the top of the ladder to do a dive. But as he was coming down onto the table, they rolled out and Jeff Hardy went through the table, basically leaving Matt by himself for a while, until Jeff finally got back into it, got a Doomsday device, which I will say was pretty cool, from the ladder through a table, so that Darkstay could get the pin, the win, and they are once again the NXT Tag Team Champions. Like I said, it was a good match, it's just the predictability of it. Because again, there was nothing new brought to this. So I could really only give it a 3, but a very solid 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then the main event for the NXT Men's Championship. Trick Williams challenging Ricky Saints. Again, this is kind of like the last one. It was good, but there was just nothing special about it. I mean, yes, Trick Williams did put Ricky Saints through a table, and that was cool, but at no point did I really think that Ricky Saints was going to lose the title. It kind of felt like this was to give Ricky Saints his first legitimate title defense, which I'm not knocking that, but it went the way we thought it was going to go. Eventually, Ricky Saints got a tornado DDT from off the ropes, got the pin, the win, and he is still the NXT Men's Champion. So again, it was good. Just the drama of, like, you know, don't look away, you might miss something. It wasn't there. So again, I would give it a solid, but only a 3 out of 5. Yeah! So, NXT Halloween Havoc 2025 was good. Wasn't amazing, but it was good. I'm glad it was a PLE. Instead of, you know, some years they just want to do it as the weekly show is going to be called Halloween Havoc. I don't like that. Let it be a PLE. It had only 1 5, a couple of 4s, and a couple of 3s. And some of it, yes, definitely did what a PLE should do. Continued storylines. For example, the NXT Women's North American Championship. Not only did the title change hands, but we know a rivalry is coming between Zarya and Sol Ruca. And this is building towards it. And it's looking like it's going to be a 3-way rivalry with Blake Monroe in the middle of it. The NXT Women's Championship is definitely continuing a rivalry because we know a rivalry between Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley is coming. But the rest of the calling, are they going to side with Tatum Paxley or are they going to side with Izzy Dame? We don't know. We'll find out. Plus, it's really cool Tatum Paxley being the NXT Women's Champion. Definitely see some big things for her. The NXT Men's North American Championship might be continuing this rivalry, which I like. I like the concept of we could have somebody who is both the AAA Latin American Champion and the NXT North American Champion. I'm really hoping they do the title for title thing. We'll see. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, I hope it goes the way of AAA because we've had people win the AAA championships. It's now their turn to give them to AAA, but we'll see. Then again, it doesn't really matter considering at this point they're both owned by WWE. But like the opening match, the tag team match of Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus Mr. Iguana and La Parca, it was so unnecessary. It was such a match that was just thrown in there to throw something in there. Especially because I get it, Mr. Iguana and La Parca kind of look like Halloween characters, so they wanted them on this show, but I feel like they could have done better build-up than that. Although it has led to Javon Evans and Leon Slater wanting to go after the NXT Tag Team Championships, which, sure, whatever. The NXT Tag Team Championships, though, again, it was a hardcore match, so there was that awesome element, but it's just, this is nothing new we haven't seen from the Hardys. Nothing. In fact, it was the same thing, and the same thing can only be entertaining so many times. And it really just seems like an excuse to give NXT back the NXT Tag Team Championships, which I think is a little messed up, because they spent a little while letting Trick Williams hold the TNA Championship. Of course, the TNA Knockouts Championship has twice been held by an NXT person, been a little bit, but they can only give the NXT Tag Team Championships to TNA for a very little time. Can't deny a show that's actually ballsy enough to let 3 titles exchange hands in one night. But then the main event was lackluster, in my opinion. Wasn't bad, just wasn't great. It just felt like it was there to legitimize Ricky Saints being the champion, which I understand they gotta do, but I feel like they could do better than that. So hopefully they will in the next one. So my feeling as the show overall, even though there were some matches that were very entertaining, and it is building up stories, making us want to continue to tune in, I wouldn't say this was a stellar event. I would say Kind of like the last two matches, wasn't enough to get a 5 or a 4. But Halloween Havoc in itself does get a very solid 3 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post the videos. And leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. Tell me what you thought of NXT Halloween Havoc 2025. Love you guys.